Hey everyone, and welcome back to FSI DFS. I am McKinley412, and today we're going to be breaking down the 7-game early slate on Draftkings. We're going to have a separate video for the main slate occurring later in the day, but for now, we're just focusing on the 7-game main slate, or the 7-game early slate on Draftkings for Saturday afternoon. Weather-wise, there's nothing major that we need to be paying attention to. Everything's looking good at the moment. I'm recording this the night beforehand, so as always, make sure you're checking the weather though, just for any changes that might occur overnight or throughout the day. And also make sure you're paying attention to the COVID news. You never know when a game might be postponed or a player or two get taken out of the lineup because of a positive test. So let's just dive right into the pitchers here. Lance Lynn right at the top. He's clearly your top option on the slate. He's 9.8K, which is a little bit higher than I want to pay for him. He's just returning from injury, so he hasn't pitched in a little over 2 weeks. But his last start was against this same Cleveland team. And he had 10 strikeouts in 6 innings and put up 26 points. When somebody's approaching that 10K mark, you want to make sure that they definitely have that strikeout upside. And at around 9.8K, 10K, I'm looking for 25 points kind of as their floor. So does Lance Lynn give me that much confidence? Not really, but compared to the other players on this slate, I think he's clearly your top option. Urquidy, who knows what DK is doing with his salary? They are all over the place. He started the season at 7.4K, had 2 average games, jumped all the way up to 10.1 against Seattle, and then dropped down 2,000 back to 8,000, and had a negative game, an average game, and now they've jumped him back up to 9.5. He's facing a Tampa Bay offense who is, a top half offense. So it's not like he's facing the Tigers or anything. His strikeouts have been down recently. So at 9.5, I have no interest in him at all. Just bump it up to Lance Lynn. Danny Duffy, 9.1. He's been really solid to start the season. He has 4 great starts so far, all of them 28, 25, 22, and 24 points. He's not allowing home runs at all. His only earned run in the 4 starts was a solo home run. So if you look at his career stats compared to what he's doing this season, every single category is better. He's allowing fewer hits, fewer earned runs, fewer home runs. He's handing out less walks or fewer walks. He has more strikeouts per 9. So everything's going in his favor. I don't know. I haven't seen anything if he changed the pitch type or something, but his spring wasn't this good or anything. He had an average spring for how he's done in his long career. So I think he's a safe option. Obviously, Minnesota's a kind of scary offense. And it's what I mentioned with Lance Lynn. At 9.1, Danny Duffy, I think, is just priced a little bit too high. I think a lot of these top pitchers on this slate are priced up like 400 or 500, just a little bit too much. But like I said, compared to the other guys on the slate, I think you might be forced to playing those kind of guys, or at least one of them in cash and in GPP. Fleming, I don't know if he's the true starter tomorrow or if he's just doing a long relief stint like he has, but I don't see him going more than 4 innings. Maybe he gets to 5. And at 8.7K, you're looking for somebody that can get you 20 points at least, and that's just not going to happen in 4 innings. He's not a strikeout guy, so the upside's not there. It's just not possible. Luzardo, 8.5. I like the matchup here more than I like the pitcher. He's done pretty well this season. He had one kind of gross start, and it was against Arizona here. Only went 2 innings, allowed a lot of earned runs, but every other start, he has allowed quite a bit of hits here and earned runs. But I just keep going over. These top pitchers are just priced a little bit too high or higher than they should be. But I don't mind Luzardo here on this slate specifically, and it's just because he's playing against Baltimore. Turnbull playing against the Yankees, not interested. McKenzie, I'll get into him when we talk about the bats. There's some interesting things going on with McKenzie. Not good things though. not good things. TAILLON for New York. I like TAILLON. I'm obviously gonna like pretty much every pitcher that's going against Detroit, but I mentioned this in my last video when TAILLON was on the slate. I can't guarantee that he's going more than 5 innings, even if he has a decent start. Like in this one against Atlanta, he had only 1 earned run, he had 5 Ks, 1 walk, but they pulled him at 5 innings. Now his pitch count was at 80, but that kind of seems to be the limit for him. So if that pitch rate climbs up, maybe he has a couple of batters that give him a tough time and he gets to like 8-9 pitches on their plate appearance, he's going to hit that 80 pitch count around the 5th inning. And his price did go down, is at 7.7. So he's viable. I think he's definitely in play, but like I said, nobody is really exciting me on this slate, in case you couldn't tell. It's a far cry from what we just had on Friday with Cole and Bieber and Darvish, just right down the line. We had so many good pitching options. Today, it's not as lovely. Castillo, his strikeout rate is way down this season. He's at a 17% K rate this season, far cry from the 30% that he was last year and even the year before. I think he's like around like a 30% strikeout pitcher in his career. So who knows what's going on? I think he's a GPP play at best. He is facing the Cubs, who do strike out a lot, but they're still a better offense than they were at the start of the season. And he's playing at home in that small ballpark, so there are some concerns with him. Harvey, not interested in. Shoemaker, not really. Corbin's going against Miami. Corbin's not good. He's been getting hit pretty hard here. But he's going against Miami, and we mentioned in the previous video, Miami has some serious injury issues going on here. Marte on the injured list. Chisholm, he's out. Anderson, Alfaro, Dickerson's day-to-day. So there's half of their starting lineup, one more than half their starting lineup. And you got to throw in a pitcher who's batting. So Corbin, you feel so gross to say. You could make a case for him. Just because of all the injuries Miami's facing, I still won't be rostering him. But you can make a case there. Zach Davies, something's wrong with Davies this season. I don't know what it is. He had a nice season his last year. Even just looking at his career, he's not this bad of a pitcher. So I don't know if like an injury's around there or what, but his walk rate is through the roof. He's allowed the most earned runs of any starting pitcher in the majors so far this season. So things are not going well for Davies, and now he's going against that strong Cincinnati offense in that small ballpark. So you can kind of see where we're going to be going with the bats here. And same with Campbell. This is his first major league season. The stats and the data that we do have him are not good. He's priced 4.7 for a reason. And I don't think he's going to be going more than 3 or 4 innings. So I'll pass on that. So really just kind of highlight Lance Lynn, Danny Duffy, Luzardo, TAILLON. Pretty much those 4 are kind of my interest, especially in cash. You can make a case for some other guys in GPP, but it's ugly sledding on this slate. Turning to batters here. Obviously, I'm going to be all over Cincinnati. Davies has just been awful, like I said. He is allowing he has the most earned runs allowed in the entire league so far this season. He's going on the road against that strong Cincinnati offense. Where are they? Right here. Going against that strong Cincinnati offense. So the left-handed hitters, I think, are going to be in a smash spot here. So Winker, you could have him leading off. Votto. Barnhart's also a lefty. 4-2. It's pricey for a catcher, but that's a great way for you to kind of separate yourself from the field. People hate paying up at catcher, so even if you have a chalky lineup, as long as you just like pay up for catcher or pay up for shortstop, which people don't like to do either, pay up for one of those spots and pay down in like the outfield or pay down at first base, and you're going to completely separate yourself from the pack. Moustakas, so I think Cincinnati is definitely going to be they should be one of the more popular options tomorrow. especially those left-handed bats there with the power. Other team that I'm going to be focusing on, and I don't think they're going to get as much ownership, but it's the White Sox. Now, I say this, I didn't go over McKenzie earlier, the Cleveland pitcher, and here's why. So I wanted to dive into him just a little bit more. He's a phenomenal strikeout pitcher. He is a 31% K rate so far this season. Last season, he was a 33% K rate. So, and you can kind of see here in 4 innings, he had 5 strikeouts. 5 innings, he had 7 strikeouts. The K rates are there. However, he walks a lot of batters. And I brought this up in the last video as well. When you're striking out a lot of batters and inducing a lot of swinging strikes and foul balls, and you're also walking a lot of batters, your pitch count flies up pretty quickly. And you can kind of see this. He was at 87 pitches in 4 innings here, 87 pitches in 5 innings, 76 pitches in 4 innings. So even though he wasn't getting hit hard, like only 4 hits against, 5 hits against, the fact that he's striking out so many guys and walking so many guys, getting deep into counts, his pitch count soars really quickly. So I'm not on McKenzie as a pitcher at all, but I really like these Chicago bats. So McKenzie, he's a high strikeout pitcher. That's kind of what he relies on, or else he is walking guys. So the White Sox are second in the league at limiting strikeouts to right-handed pitchers. So there's 1 strike against McKenzie and 1+ for the Boston bats. Is they don't strike out against righties. So kind of his greatest strength is gone. His walk rate, he has an issue with walking batters. The White Sox are a top 5 walk rate team for batting. So he's going against a team that allows the most, top 5 in most walks allowed, and he can't stop walking people. And he's going to be going deeper into counts because the White Sox don't strike out. They're just going to keep fouling balls off until they see a great pitch. And on top of both of those things, you have 20 to 30 mile an hour winds tomorrow blowing out in Chicago. So put all those things together, and I think the White Sox are in a phenomenal spot tomorrow. I think they might be my most owned team, even more so than Cincinnati. But yeah, I think it's loaded. I wish they had a bit more lefties in their lineup, going against the righty of McKenzie. So, but like Moncada, Eaton, there's your 2 lefties who should do well. They should kind of be right in the core of that lineup. But really everybody else I think is definitely in play as well. This offense is a top tier offense, top 5 offense, I think, so far to start the season. They can hit for power, they can steal bases, and they can really just kind of string things together from an offensive standpoint. So I think they're a fantastic play. They might be my favorite play tomorrow. Obviously, you always have to be paying attention to the Yankees and just kind of what they can do against that awful Detroit bullpen. But yeah, I'm going to be focusing mainly on Cincinnati and Chicago. So to kind of wrap things up, real quick for pitcher, especially in cash, Lance Lynn, Danny Duffy, Luzardo, TAILLON, kind of what I'm limiting myself to here. Everybody, I think pitching is just priced up a little too high, especially at the top here. Lance Lynn at 9.8, Danny Duffy at 9.1, Luzardo at 8.5. I think they're just a couple hundred more than I would like to pay for them. Bats wise, give me Cincinnati and give me Chicago. So that kind of wraps things up. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button. Make sure to give a comment, what you like, what you don't like. We love reading all of your comments. We appreciate all the feedback that you guys have been giving us. We hope to see you guys in the Discord here shortly. We have a bunch of free rooms. The MLB room is a premium room, but is very affordable. And there's one other thing. Oh, video tonight. There's going to be another video for the later slate. I think it's a 6-game slate occurring on Saturday evening. So go ahead, check out that video as well. Good luck in your contests, everyone, and we'll hope to see you guys in the comment section here shortly. See you guys.